What's cracking? Big dogs. Welcome, Bike, to the channel. Welcome, Bike, to the headquarters. My name is Nicholas. This is BDGE. And it's Saturday, which means it's Q&Aassault Saturday, where you guys get to assault me with any of the questions that you may have related to anything. To fantasy football, to season-long leagues, to dynasty leagues, to the brand, to life, to margaritas, to love, to sadness, life, pursuit of trapping. What the fuck was that? Okay. Let's kick this bad boy off. How are we, people? Tony, what was the most popular dance in 1776? The Independence. Fucking hilarious. Not a bad 4th of July joke. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Won't ever use it again, but John says, I wish I had friends. Makes two of us. I don't want to be friends with you, but that would solve some problems. Tony says, what did one flag say to the other flag? Nothing, it just waved. All right, I'm fucking done with you, Tony. I think I'm going to block you. Putting you in timeout for 300 seconds. Richard Watkins, making a friendly appearance. Nick, my guy, what's up? It's been a long time, Pretty Richie. I haven't seen you in the chat. You barely come in and say hi to your nephew in the Go Fade Me group chat. I've been sad without you. Must be fun knowing that you have the 101 for the next 5 years, though. In a 10-team Superflex league, would you accept 2023 first and Brady for Watson if I'm contending? Other quarterbacks, Stafford, Fields, Carr, Tua. My initial thought on that is no. That's not enough for Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, when it comes to Dynasty. The only way you'd be able to sway me there is if it is, like, you would need a lot of things. First, that would need to be a 2022 first, because you would need to know that it needs to be a very early pick. And I really don't believe that most people can predict how a pick is going to turn out 2 years from now. If it was a 2022 pick, you could probably get a good estimate whether or not it's in, like, the top 3. And then you could work off that. That would probably also need to be a 6-point per passing touchdown league in order for me to value Brady anywhere near that. So my initial opinion is no, I would not take that trade. I think you'll be fine with those quarterbacks, especially in a 10-team league. How do you pronounce stipend? You heard it. You heard it here first. Percentage chance Watson plays updated. Plays what? Plays football? Plays in the NFL? Plays in the NFL in 2021? Plays with his Rajol? I mean, there are a lot of different outcomes here, Scott. We don't have time in this economy for loose end type bullshit questions like that. My time is worth too much money for me to read that shit. Unbelievable. Had a trio of very good margs at Momoko in Cleveland. Spicy mango with chili, lime rim, honey ginger with black ant rim, and a blood orange with vanilla salt rim. Hard to believe that they make anything north of an 8.0 in Cleveland. I had an 8.4 the other night. Fucking Wednesday night. Random bar. Who would have thunk it? Fucking 8-4. They're playing hip-hop in the entire bar. A really good time. I was at a bar before that, and they had I had a bar before that. We went to a bar before that called Mr. Paradise, and they had drinks with absinthe in them. I wasn't even supposed to fucking go out that night. I ended up going out drinking absinthe and fucking shooting off an 8-4. It's a good night. Mike Carter or Ronald Jones in Dynasty? Michael Carter. Rojo's not a guy I'm buying in Dynasty. He's just never going to be a pass catcher. I think Carter actually has higher upside. This is going to be a weird year for the Bucs backfield. Give me Michael Carter, Richie. Hafster adding some more context to that Brady pick. Said the pick will be late. Didn't seem worth it in my opinion. Yeah, definitely not. You like Michael Carter at the 109 in a one quarterback league? Probably not. If I had to go down the rankings, there are a lot of players I like over Michael Carter, skill players. So you'd have, if we're going off running backs, he would be behind Najee, he would be behind Etienne, he would be behind Williams, and he would be behind Sermon for me. He would be behind Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, Carter, I don't think would be the 109 for me there. Guys, at the end of the day, he's still a 4th-round pick. When is the Landlord coming on Why You Yellin'? Maybe like our move-out date. Maybe the last week before we move out. Like if we move out on Monday, we'll have her that Sunday. Let her do like a quick recap of what it was like having us upstairs. We could use that as like a, when you move into a new place, a lot of times landlords want like a testimonial, or they want like a landlord, I guess, testimonial from the previous place. We could use that and be like, look at this video. She loved us. She used the way she described us was thumping and thrashing. Like we were such exciting residents. Which side for Dynasty? Swift. Let me put these comments on the screen, actually, for the people that watch this afterwards. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. If you want in the Q&A next week, you got to sign up, patron.com/BDGE. Oh, this is big. Why is this so big? No, that's because we were trying to take over Snacks' face. I forgot. Which side for Dynasty? Swift and a 2022 first, or Mixon and Judy? I'll probably take the Swift side. I think I straight up like the Swift side. In a 14-team league for redraft, if you're picking early, are you cool taking Dobbins as the RB2 in the late second? Yeah, I mean, it would probably just go according to my rankings. If it's a 14-team league, the late second would be, what, like the 27th to 30, 26, 27, 28 overall picks. That's like the 303 normal leagues. It's probably a little bit early. The more I think about it, the more that situation is just like, doesn't present itself with a lot of upside. But like, yeah, I'm not going to be mad about it. If it's in a full PPR league, I would definitely rethink that, though. How much did Snacks get for his ball? I think he actually ended up, I think the highest bid was $100. I think he actually let it go off for $100. Someone did. I don't know who did, but whoever did is an idiot. What else is going on, my peoples? What else? Any other questions? Preferably not from Scott. Hello. Tua or Wentz? Give me Tua all day long, baby. Give me Tua all day long. There's just no way he doesn't succeed. Unless he's just a shitty quarterback, which I don't believe to be the case. I don't want to say the situation is flawless because it's not like an elite offensive line, but I'm just saying the weapons there are too good not to succeed for Tua. Feels bad. Welcome to my existence. What's everybody doing for July 4th weekend? This weekend kind of sucks. Weather's shitty. Life is shitty. All my fantasy teams are shitty. This is the least electric Q&A we've had in a while. I probably need another injection of caffeine, I think. That'll get me yelling. To a will excel. Did you use Excel the right way, Richie? For some reason, I feel like when Excel is spelt that way, there's no other reason for it than Microsoft Excel. Excel. Yeah, I guess that would make sense because it's short for excellence, right? Yeah. All right. I'll let that slide, Richie. You're smarter than me. I already knew that. Don't know why I questioned you. Description of Lucas for people that don't know. An oblivious 50-year-old that needs to be babysitted. Who thinks he's a fucking genius. But is on camera with evidence to the contrary. Not much. Watching fireworks in my hood. That's nice. Can't even get on my fucking roof anymore. We got banned from our rooftop. Can't see fireworks anywhere. It's a sick of life I live. Everyone is at the club. No one's at the fucking club. What club? It's 10 a.m. It's 12 p.m. It's 12:45 p.m. I should be at a club right now. So 50 shots for 50K subscribers. I got to think of something to do for 50,000 subscribers. I got to think of something to do. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do it live. Ben Roethlisberger in the 3rd round. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, the number of things that Lucas did in his drafts that are documented, just like the draft picks over the 2-year span, it's a performance on YouTube unlike one I've seen before. Koenig, I'm bike, done showering. Who do you consult the most for other fantasy content, YouTube or Twitter? Who do you consult the most for other fantasy content, YouTube or Twitter? Oh, you mean like what do I consume the most? I'm definitely on Twitter more than I am. I don't watch any fantasy videos. I watch almost zero. Close to zero. So never YouTube. I listen to podcasts way more often than I listen to or watch YouTube. And Twitter, like Twitter has absolutely ruined itself. I used to really like Twitter for getting fantasy advice. Like people actually used to tweet things out that were valuable, but now people just tweet links to things. People just tweet links to their blogs and their videos and their podcasts rather than actually like tweeting valuable things. So Twitter is absolutely like became one of my least favorite social. We were actually talking about this when we were in Miami when I was with like Pete Overzet and Jack Settlement and stuff. And they were like, how much would you have to be paid in order to delete? They were talking about like deleting their social media platforms, right? Like how much would they have to get paid? They said like YouTube. I was like, YouTube to me is priceless. Like you'd have to pay me so much fucking money in order for me to delete my YouTube channel. When they asked him like Twitter, and Jack was like, "You have to give me like $5 million to delete my Twitter." I would legitimately, delete my Twitter for like not that much money. Twitter is not an enjoyable experience. I feel like in fantasy Twitter anymore. I think people think I say that like hyperbolically. Like Twitter is just a fucking absolute cesspool of fucking frauds, myself included. In a month and a half, we'll be sharing a bet again. I mean, you'll be sharing a bet with someone, not me, probably. Dang, no fantasy pros or AG. I listen to some of their podcasts. I don't watch their YouTube shit though. I need to be like actively doing stuff. Like if I go on a walk or if I'm like in the kitchen whipping up, I'll have it playing through like a speaker or something, but I do not sit here and like watch the videos. It's just not my style of learning, you know? It needs to be something visual. Like if I'm going to be watching YouTube videos, it needs to be for me learning how to do something physically, you know? I don't give a motherfucker about Derek Carr's accuracy on deep passes in a video. You know? What's up? How are we? Oh, I guess nobody's hanging out for July 4th weekend. That's cool. I wouldn't want to spend it with me either, but damn. Do you ever listen to guys on satellite radio? I was debating answering that in a really sarcastic way, but I decided against it. No. The last time I had a radio access was probably over 4 years ago. I mean, I live in the city. I live in Manhattan, so it's like I don't have a car. And before this, I lived in Manhattan also. And before that, I lived in Brooklyn. And so I just didn't have a car, you know? So, no, I don't listen to satellite radio. When I did have a car, I was listening to podcasts and I was listening to basically just music on my Spotify. Dang, you need to do a game show or some shit. Honestly, the Q&As I just like to show up for. It's like the one day out of the week that I don't have to like really prep for content. So it's kind of nice to just show up and yell at you guys. All the other videos, you know, you have to sit down. We got to prepare. I got to go through the notes and be like, this is a lie. Like, do I put this on camera even though I blatantly know it's fake? These numbers that I'm about to give them are fucking not real, you know? But Saturdays, I get to relax, get to have a fat coffee when I wake up, and then I get to get assaulted. I don't really have to do anything. So game shows is out of the question. That's all Animal's job. Anytime we do game shows, he puts that together. Drunkenly put some money on my Jets over 6 wins the other night. Well, I mean, at least you admitted you were drunk. Jared Hall, what up? No. Anybody yelling on Twitter? The worst place in the world. Someone on Instagram DM'd us to be a sponsor, to be an athlete that we sponsor. It was a D1 soccer player, actually. Let me pull him up. Let me give him some love. So we can... Jaden Strumer. He's a beast. We might have our first sponsored athlete. I don't actually know what that... I don't know what that actually means, though. Like, what do we have to do? Just send him a bunch of shit? It's my guy right there. Oh, I cut out his name. Fuck. What? In his fucking profile, it says Barstool Athlete. Did he already sign with Barstool? Jaden, this is not a good start to our relationship. Oh, you're so fired. True that. When I'm in the car, I found myself listening to fantasy radio just to hear the things others say compared to what you do. I imagine they're very, very different. Hey, we just put some new merch up. New thumping of the Landlord line, we're going to call this. Has fantasy content hit peak saturation on YouTube? All right, so the way I'm looking at fantasy content on YouTube, like, yeah, it's very fucking saturated, which I think actually, believe it or not, plays into our hand. I think for a long time, anyone who came on YouTube early on got to kind of like coast. They just got so much organic traction naturally that their sub count. They didn't even have to be good. It didn't have to be good content at all. It just had to be fucking content and be consistent. Now we're going to start to see the cream rise a little bit. Now we're going to start to see the people who actually put out the best content begin to be the only ones that grow, right? Not everybody can grow anymore because it's so fucking saturated. So the people who actually put out the best content, the people who actually do that consistently are the ones that are going to start growing. So you're going to start to see a lot of the channels that do the same shit over and over again, that don't adapt, that don't innovate, that are putting out very subpar content. They're going to tail off. Like their growth is going to stop. All right, that's just a natural progression of things. So in terms of like volume, yeah, like YouTube is absolutely a shit show right now. But I think that the brands that are the best are the ones that are going to start to really separate themselves, which I'm kind of excited for this summer. I have a question. How dare you? No. I can't believe you're even in here. Get out. Koenig, why you got two colors for your questions? This is weird. Favorite grill out food for 4th of July. You know what? You know what's fucking weird? When I woke up today, for the first time, possibly in my entire life, I had a craving for a hot dog. And I wasn't even thinking about 4th of July. I wasn't like, oh, it's like hot dog holiday, you know? For some reason, I just wanted a hot dog with sauerkraut. Actually, it might have been last night. A hot dog with sauerkraut is elite. The only problem is most people who have grill outs, who have barbecues and shit during 4th of July, maybe half and half, I would say. If you're a good host, a lot of people just won't have sauerkraut, which is a big problem. So normally, I guess I could say a lot of people can't cook hot dogs well either, so I can go with a hamburger. I do think a lot of the cookout foods, because it's just a normal person, it's not like a professional chef, it's just a normal human-ass being cooking the food, it's going to be subpar, so the toppings and the accessories added to the food is huge, okay? Most people cook chicken like terribly, but if you give me a hot dog with sauerkraut, or you give me a cheeseburger with like they got lettuce and tomatoes and onions and shit to add to it, double cheek me up. You know what I'm saying? I'd agree, Nick. I watched a few before I found you and checked out others just to see, what I find is most are just boring and basic, which is why you think you're so unique. Yeah, I mean, I respect everybody that's on, putting themselves out there and making content and stuff, because it's a tedious game. It takes a lot of hard work, but at the end of the day, I think like people on YouTube just coast for a while because it was so easy to grow, and I think that happens with any new platform. So whoever gets there first is going to have a big launch pad, but eventually, like, not every girl that puts on a fucking bikini anymore is growing on Instagram, right? Right? Am I right? Probably wrong. I feel like all of them have like minimum $50,000 followers. No. What else is going on, people? Are we going to cut this short? What do we got in the DMs? Someone DM me. It's snacks, of course. When did the season-long rankings come out, Nick? Okay, so the tentative launch date for the entire redo of the draft guide website is July 12th-ish, hopefully that week. So when that launches, you'll have the updated dashboards for all the rookies for the Dynasty draft guide, and you will have the content for the season-long draft guide, which will start dripping out on that week, like July 12th. But the rankings will be available that day. Whenever the actual draft guide website launches, which, again, tentative launch date of July 12th, BDGE.store. Whatever day it launches in that week, the season-long rankings will be available that day. Offered Scott a 2022 first for Hawkinson. Go decline that, Scotty. Scott's very high on Hawkinson. Very high. Very, very high. I'm not giving any analysis, just stating facts. When does BEG go to 5 shorts a day? I'll tell you what. I'm wasting my time doing Q&A right now. I could be doing shorts. Shorts. How many of us have them? Shorts. I need to rip off like 3 shorts after this. Rip them. because I got no content, no more fantasy content today or tomorrow. You guys are nerdy. Watch while yelling. Never mind. Thoughts on those saying Pittsburgh is going to be really bad, and so Najee's not going to be that good, not worth a second-round pick. All right, well, there's a few different parts of that. Thoughts on those saying Pittsburgh is going to be really bad. I don't think they're going to be really bad, okay? They were a top 12 scoring offense last year, okay? They scored like 26 or, I don't know, something points per game that got them into the top 12, okay? So they were not that bad on offense. They get to play the Bengals twice. It's fucking guaranteed 240-point games. So while they're not going to be like elite, I still think they finish as like a top 18 scoring offense, if not, again, top 12. So Najee is not going to be that good. I think he has most of what it takes to be like a pretty solid RB1. The offensive line is going to be shitty. The efficiency is going to be bad, but you don't need a good offensive line to catch 50 passes. And Najee is a very good pass catcher, so I think he gets involved pretty dramatically in that side of the game. He'll be the goal line back. He'll get all the early down work. So you have a few different things. Pittsburgh is going to be really bad. Disagree. They'll be average. Najee is not going to be that good. He might not be efficient. He'll be fine via volume. Not worth a second-round pick. I would disagree with that. I would be fine with Najee. If I took a running back in the first round and then I got Najee as my RB2, I'd be perfectly happy with that. When would you target Hockey in redraft? Seen him in the 4th, which is too early for me. Yeah, definitely too early. He'll be a boring like high floor tight end, but he'll be like a top 6 tight end. So I would say like most best ball drafts I've done in Underdog, I've gotten him. I want to say like the 6th round, 7th round. If he drops into the 7th, he's almost like an auto draft for me there. If it's in the 6th, there are probably other players that I want there, but 6, 7 sounds reasonable for me. If I have to take him in the 4th or 5th, it's a no for me. It is a no for me, dog. Rank the Pittsburgh wide receivers in redraft. It's Deontay, it's Claypool, and it's Juju. I think Deontay is the clear one for me there, redraft. Between Chase and Juju, for the way I look at it is I'm pretty firmly taking Claypool over Juju. Wouldn't shock me whatsoever if Juju finishes above Claypool, but just based on the way I draft, I would much rather have the upside in Claypool than Juju. So for me, it's Deontay, Tier, Claypool, Juju. Thoughts on Saki? I'm a huge fan of Saki. That was like basically my first experience in New York City, is going to Saki bars with my friends while we were underage. We used to, I was so young, I don't even remember like what area of the city we were in. We would just walk up and down the streets going into different Japanese bars and asking them if they would let us in without IDs. Until we'd try like 6 of them, and then we'd be like, oh, we have one ID, which was fake. Like, can we drink here if we only have one ID between the 12 of us? I'm like, yeah, and they would do unlimited sake bombs, unlimited sake and beer, obviously, for like $18 a person. And we would just go ham. And those were my first nights like going out in New York City. And I think I've had like an appreciation for sake ever since then. Nowadays, I was drinking sake last week. I haven't done actual sake bombs in a long ass time, just because my body can barely physically chug things anymore. But sake's legit. I think it might just be like a situation thing where like I have good memories and experiences from it, so I always attach the thought of it to that. I'm a big fan of like going out with a couple people though and getting a bottle or 2 of sake and just like taking shots like one after the other, because they're not like liquor shots where you get super fucked up early, but it's like a fun time. Cold sake though, it has to be cold. Are there any offenses you're completely fading and expect to get 0 shares of anyone? That's a good question. I haven't really sat down and looked at it. First thing that comes to mind is I was going to say the Jets, but I probably will have a couple Elijah Moore shares, even in redraft. Let me look at the teams. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't own anyone from Washington. Like I'm not really looking to use my third round pick on Terry. Gibson's that's probably a lie. I'll probably take somebody or two from Washington. Buffalo, no. Miami, I'll take Tua. The Patriots, I still like Cam. I like Damian Harris. New York Jets, Elijah Moore. Dallas, obviously. The Giants, of course. Saquon, Daniel Jones. Philly, Hurts. Washington, Gibson. Ravens, Lamar. Bengals, a lot of players. Browns, a lot of players. Steelers, I like Najee and Deontay. Chicago might be that one. Chicago might be a team that I won't be taking anybody on. I just don't know. Like I get, we all know the fucking story with Allen Robinson. I just don't really want to use my third round pick on him. I don't like low floor players or like high floor players. And I don't want David Montgomery. So that being said, Chicago might be that team. Who else? I mean, I'm most likely fading Houston, although I've said this a few times. I really don't hate David Johnson in like the 11th round of redraft leagues. I think he's actually one of the better value picks in all fantasy football. Jacksonville, as weird as it probably sounds, actually this upcoming week's Sophie Seconds video is James Robinson and Laviska Shenault. I don't know if I'm going to own any Jacksonville Jaguars this year in redraft. I might take some Marvin Jones, but outside of that, probably not. Saints, no. Tampa Bay. Yeah, it's probably, I think on all the other teams, that there are probably players that I'd be drafting. I saw someone said on Discord that Jefferson is a better route runner than Chase. True. I mean, at this point, like, here's the thing. Like, Jefferson just put up an absolutely elite fucking textbook showcasing on route running as a rookie. So it's hard to argue that someone coming in that hasn't proved it on the NFL field is better than Jefferson right now. So, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to side with Jefferson just based on the facts that we have at hand. Gotta love this NY hipster shit. Gotta love it. Noah from Connecticut, Mike from California, just a bunch of NY hipsters. I need your bust-proof players this upcoming season. That will be Wednesday's video. How fucked is the bike? Just a little wobbly or RIP? I rode it all the way home after the accident. It wasn't pretty. Like, I didn't get style points on the ride home, but I rode it home. So I think I could probably get from point A to B. I just don't know how long. I'd imagine if I tried to go upwards of like 15 to 18 miles an hour, like the wheel would eventually just like pop off. I'd rather not happen in the middle of the street here, because then I probably will get killed. Such a shame. That bike was so much fucking fun. How many of us have them? Shorts. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the Q&Aassault for today. I know this was just like the least happening one. It's July 4th weekend. Fuck off. Hope everybody has a great weekend. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're doing actual fantasy videos every day of the week. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Landlord has not been tripping in a minute. My roommate is in Vegas for a bachelor party, though. I would imagine that the common denominator is the reason why there. Otherwise, I love y'all. Thank you for hanging around, and I'll see you tomorrow on Why You Yelling. Peace.